All right, here we go. T12. Congratulations, week 10. Oh my gosh, you are on the downhill slide. Congratulations, congratulations. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Okay, so what we're talking about in this module is offenses against other people, sexual assaults, and things like that that are very hard to prove because it comes, unless it's a righteous rape or anything down, it comes to consent because the majority of these cases you'll go out to them and talk to the suspect, and the suspect's like, oh no, the victim gave consent, and so you have to lay out a case against that. Okay, so let me move myself here. Let me move this over here. Well, that's not going to work. Move me over there. There we go. Okay, so they start on these different kind of assaults. Like, you guys have looked at so much data in the past about when crimes occur, where they occur. Crimes can occur anywhere, okay? My personal opinion is that people do not stay aware from their surroundings, that they're, especially now, where these things here suck so bad, because everybody's heads down, walking, texting, misses all the world that's going on. So really distracted when you should be outside. When you walk out the door, focus, scan around your car, scan around as you're walking around. So anybody can become a victim. So hold on. What is that? That's nice. All right, so anybody can become a victim. Doesn't matter the age, right? You guys have already been introduced to a lot of heinous things, whether it's a baby, elderly, doesn't matter, across the border, right? Some people that you're going to come across that are in violation of these type of offenses feel no remorse. They don't understand why you find it a big deal, and the community finds it a big deal when they do these type of crimes, because they absolutely feel no remorse. Most victims do know their attackers in one way or another, whether it's a neighbor, somebody who comes to mow the lawn, somebody who visits a neighbor, an ex-boyfriend, a co-worker, you name the gamut. The majority of them are not stranger attacks. They usually know the person, okay? And it's not like, ooh, the boogeyman in the corner where they're going to occur in the dark alley. It could be, obviously, when you watch this video here, what this guy did. Where's he at? McDonald's. Okay, McDonald's. People bring their kids in, kids are holding their hand, toddling in. They're not thinking, oh my gosh, this kind of sexual attack can happen in McDonald's. No, because their situational awareness is not moving forward. So after watching this one film here, I want you to say, what could have been done different, do you think, on McDonald's part, okay, so on McDonald's and possibly the victim's part overall to possibly prevent this. Okay, let me move myself here. All right, so when investigating obscene calls or texts, notorious stuff's going on with text stuff, right? People are getting bullied with text. Oh my gosh, I have a new boyfriend. Look at this. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses, kisses. Let's take a picture of a private part, because in case you didn't know, I have one, so I got to show you I have a private part. Oh, let me show you your private part. Oh my gosh. Look how cool this is, right? It's super funny. Everybody loves each other till they don't. Okay, and then all of a sudden we get the phone call. Oh my gosh, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-girlfriend is posting these naughty pictures on the internet to everybody, right? And it's like, okay, what possessed you to show a picture anyway? Like, what was the purpose, right? Because everybody thinks they're going to live happily ever after, and 70-80% of the world gets in a divorce, most of it nasty, right? So the behavior becomes stressful and frightening, right? And they want something done to the suspect, but yet they don't want to come forward and say, hey, this is what this guy's doing. You have to contact the police and tell the police, hey, this is what's going on, and follow through. I think because Everybody has lost sight of their civic duty. Like if they're a victim, like, oh, I don't want to say anything, and everybody kind of hides their head and becomes an ostrich, and nobody wants to go forward and prosecute or do their civic duty. If they know somebody else that's involved in something, it's like stand up for what's right in society, right? Everybody turns their head. Oh, we don't want to say anything. Let's not get involved, okay? Contact the phone company. The phone companies are all the cell phone companies, right? Verizon, AT&T. What is that other one, the yellow one? You guys already know what I'm talking about. But anyway, there's various parts of ways to get in contact with the police so this stops. When I was working and I used to get these type of reports, I'd call the person up myself. Hey, listen, that's the police department. Don't call and harass people anymore, because we're going to track the phone from now on. You've been warned, and usually it stops from there. Okay. Prostitution, right? Everybody says this is a victimless crime, right? Because there's people out there, both male and female, offering their body in exchange for money, right? And that's why when there's a lot of us, and when we're working, work undercover in order to stop this type of thing, right? And it's very sad in a lot of situations, because a lot of situations, these Johns would come up and propose some type of act for money, or, they're going to pay you money. But however, when I was working undercover, working these type of stings and stuff, the John would have kids with them. And it would be amazing to me that they would have a child with them. And they're like, don't worry about it. They're never going to remember or know what's going on, which is really sad. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, so in investigating this type of crime, it's you have to prove that the person has to advise you of the act and the money. Two things that need to be taken care of, the act and the money. However, what happens when you're walking down the street and you see all these prostitutes hanging out, right? Disease that goes on, it can pass diseases on to a lot of people, pass them around and stuff like that. And then also a lot of drugs go with it. A lot of drugs go with that type of environment. All right, trafficking versus smuggling. Smuggling is paid to assist in the legal crossing the border, smuggling human beings, okay? Person may choose to be smuggled. So when you pay the coyotes $4,000 or $5,000 in exchange for having them get you across the border. Trafficking means that sometimes once they get here, they try to work off the debt for smuggling. So you'll see a lot of these guys working, and you don't know they've been smuggled over here to our country, and they're trying to pay off the debt to the smugglers. And sometimes it forces into a situation of exploitation. And here's what really bothers me, okay? And it's a crime, but what do you need in order to have a crime? What do you need? Yes, a victim. If there's no victim, there's no crime, right? You can't force somebody to be a victim. So when I'm driving around where I live, there's several people all the time selling fruit, and they look like they're about maybe 16, 17 years old, right? And it's like, no, when you try to talk to them, they're like, they don't say anything because you can't force them to be a victim. And if they don't say they're a victim, we can't, do anything. But I think that they're forced into this type of business to sell the fruit on the side of the road, and in order to pay off their smuggling bill. See, here we go, right here. This is what I'm talking about, right there, where they're just standing there. And I always think, because I'm moving around all day long, picking my daughter up, dropping her off, stuff like that, is like, where do they go to the bathroom? They all have a phone, right? Sometimes they have little kids, like the little kid's 2 or 3 years old, and they're trying to take care of the little kid by selling stuff here too. And I don't see any diaper bag. I don't see any water or anything like that. So victims, again, can be anybody. They usually prey on individuals who are poor, vulnerable, trying to get to the United States to make a better life for themselves, or they target kids who run away from underprivileged home here in America. They instill fear, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm going to send you back to Mexico. I'm going to call immigration. Or the other kids are like, oh, I'm going to do some horrible things to you. So it is very hard, hard crime to investigate. All right, I'm going to stop here and upload this module into the PowerPoint, and then we'll continue the next one. So stand by.